testimony. Begin by recognizing myself for 5 minutes for questions. Again, I appreciate your being here today. Can you tell us, since this last incident was so recent, and I don't know that I've seen any sort of official write-up of what occurred, but the airbag unit in question was under recall, but what was the difficulty in getting the recall information to the end user?
Specific to that case, that was a 2011 recall, actually for a different manufacturing defect. The manufacturer reported sending at least six notices to the family. The family reports not receiving any of them, and so that's being investigated right now.
Well, it certainly seems like we've uncovered a weak spot in what should be the vehicle notification and the user getting back to get the problem taken care of. Is this a problem because this was a second or third owner, or was this the original owner of the car?
We believe it was a used vehicle, so multiple owners of the vehicle. And you've hit on it, which is as much as is currently being done to notify people, it's not enough. And so we have been working with the automakers. We've had our own programs. We've just established with the Independent Monitor 19 new strategies, more robust ones for the automakers and Takata to go after informing people that they're available. We have our own about a dozen activities that are going on with NHTSA, including a new national campaign, Safe Cars, Save Lives, many different things. In spite of those, what we know is it's not been enough. I do want to thank you because every time you've been so good about mentioning safercar.gov. And I will just say in the last fatality, we saw a spike from 50,000 to 175,000 checks of people's VIN numbers. So we know that every time we make people aware, they pay attention, and that has the opportunity to save more lives. I thank you. You've been so good about doing that.
Well, let me ask you a question, because I think it was actually in this recently passed highway bill that we did about a pilot program for state notification to consumers. I mean, look, the state of Texas, every year I got to take my car somewhere, and the guy checks the turn signal. And I'm happy to comply with it because then I can drive my car for another year without getting a traffic ticket. Is there any way to add the compliance with recalls at the state level as part of the armamentarium of things that they check, along with pollution and turn signals and tire wear? Is it possible to add this information as well?
Yes, and thank you for the FAST Act, because this is just one example of one of the elements that could help promote better recalls. What you're identifying is a pilot program. Right now, there is no procedure, there's no technology or funding, basically, to figure out how to go and do this. When you get your car registered, is there a way to notify people? So what's great about the pilot program, up to 6 states can work with us to figure out what the procedures need to be, what technology needs to be in place, and basically how the procedures are going to go to make sure that that happens correctly. And just to give you a feel, our VIN lookup is for consumers, one person at a time. Here, we've already started interacting with states and with the DMVs. You're looking at hundreds of thousands of lookups potentially daily to get that work done. We have to figure out how to do it. It could be a great touch point to inform people.
You know, somehow when you make it important to people, it can involve money. And instead of making it punitive, if there were a proactive way, and this of course is probably a question I need to ask the manufacturers, actually an incentive program to comply with a vehicle safety recall if one's been identified, then I would